Well, we've seen a lot already this season, and we look forward to more. Ski so far, it's been mostly green bikes, the Hayden brothers.
Yeah, second half of the season, though, you mentioned, and now's the time where the guys that are trailing the Kawasaki riders, they're going to start pouring on the heat. Jamie Hacking's got a very respectable time on pole, but you go back to the second row, and it's still only 1.4 seconds separating those guys. Hacking, he really needs to come to grips with the R6. He's so comfortable on his big bike, but I think the second half of the season, you're going to see Jamie Hacking pull some tricks out of his bag and chase down both the Hayden brothers. Roger Hayden in particular on the 95 machine.
Welcome back to Road America. We've got a couple of minutes now because that's how long it's going to take them to go around the track on their warm-up lap. So we're going to take that time, set the starting grid for you, let you know who's starting where, and show you what they look like.
Well, we heard from pole sitter Jamie Hacking. 2:19.070, pretty fast around this racetrack on the 600. Aaron Gobert, we heard from him. All these guys are thinking it's going to be a barn burner and a draft and pass out of turn 14 to the finish line, and I think they're going to be right. Roger Hayden going to play it cool, he says. We'll see if he can maintain his composure on the first couple of laps. This is a kid that charges out of the box like nobody else. And again, Jason DeSalvo, one of the smaller guys in the field, and aerodynamics is going to help him out today.
All right, back on row number 2 is going to be brother Tommy Hayden, who is the current points leader in the Supersport Championship, as the rest of the riders continue their work around the racetrack. Steve Rapp, Ben Spies, and Ben Attard. Watch for him on the Corona bike, number 308. He's learning every track this year, but he's been in the top 10. Blake Young, number 59. He's 16 years old. Had a couple of young umbrella girls with him out there on the grid, Jen and Laura. Age-appropriate umbrella girls, we might add, for a 16-year-old rider. Chris Paris on the Valvoline MGO Suzuki team is doing a good job. Another youngster, Danny Eslick, just turned 18. A lot of young talent. The Iron Man, Lee Acree, out there again. So we're running through the grid here. Take a look at all these guys. We hope you've picked out a favorite before the race even starts, and we'll do our very best to keep track of him throughout the race for you. And we go a full field here, 10 rows deep, 4 riders per row, and that's going to be 43 riders, actually 39 riders total all the way back. There are 3 riders on the final and 10th row. But a lot of talent out there, and a mix of men and machines, including a Triumph motorcycle or 2, and some Hondas mixed in there, even though the factory team is not participating. Roger Lee whipping by the camera there, heading back to the starting grid. You're on board with our Progressive Motorcycle Insurance camera, and it is Roger that's carrying that one. He'll start third, and he's looking for empty track in front of him all the way, Ski.
Yeah, there's going to be some good pictures shot off the front of the 95. This is the Billy Mitchell Bridge, and this is that part of the racetrack. This is where the paychecks are earned, right through here. And this is where we're going to see multiple bike drafting all the way up the front straightaway. It's so important to be in that lead group through this turn on the first lap.
Matt, what are you trying to get done on the warm-up lap? You go out early, you go out late. Exactly how do you approach that?
I like to go out late, but these days in superbikes, they now run the grids from the front row all the way to the back. So you have to leave straight away if you're on the front row, and so they wave you through. But typically, you can see a lot of the guys waving, just trying to get some heat in the tyres, trying to get that thing scuffed in for the last little bit. So, they're all coming up to the grid now, looking forward to an exciting start.
It's going to be exciting. A lot of nerves on the starting line. There's number 59, Blake Young, the young man we spoke about, 16 years of age, just getting started. His team is called Young America. That's pretty cool, too. There he is again. So everybody's returning back to the grid. Ben Attard on the 308 Corona bike goes by. The 505, that's another young rider that we've been looking at. Nicky Moore, a dirt tracker. A lot of young talent in the Supersport class, and this is where quite a few of them get their start. Is that true also in Australia, Matt?
Oh, it is the case. I mean, Supersport class has been a class typically where people have been up-and-comers and typically move on to a superbike ride from there if they do well.
Well, we're going to see how everybody does here in just a few seconds, so we're going to go down to Greg White for the call at start of this one.
Anticipating the start to 308 is Ben Attard, like you mentioned, on the Corona bike. I just spoke with him, and he's sitting next to a couple Suzukis. He wants to be the first Suzuki to finish this race, and he is fired up and ready to go racing. Now here we are. All the grid marshals signal each row with their hand in the air that they're ready to go racing. The grid marshal, the main one, signals we're ready to go. The board is at 2 minutes. It's going to switch to 1. The light's going to go from red to green. Riders are ready to go. It's time to go racing.
Aaron Gobert with a good start. We heard him say that that's what he wanted, the 96 bike on the outside. Coming up through on the inside, though, Jason DeSalvo gets the lead. It's the 40 Yamaha, and it looks like the Blue Meanies are 1, 2, 3 coming out of turn number 1, and they are. Jamie Hacking in third. The green bike's back in fourth and fifth. Around the outside, Blake Young on that 59 bike. 16-year-old showing some stuff early on.
He sure is, running in fifth position. I saw the 5 of Steve Rapp nearly jumped to start, pulled it back in. We'll see what the officials say about that. But Steve had a horrible launch after that miscue.
There he is, Blake Young on the 59 around the outside on Pirelli tires, 5 wide, going down to turn 5. And Young is going to lose a spot to Roger Hayden, who's moved in on the 95 machine into the 5th position.
On board now with Roger Hayden up through turn 6. Progressive Motorcycle Insurance onboard camera. Action-packed already on the first lap. Raj really strong. This is one of his favorite passing zones coming up into the hurry downs.
Aaron Gobert with an arm gesture of some kind there. Jason DeSalvo comes up the outside. Matt, what are you seeing this early in the race?
Oh, I mean, I think it's going to stay close for quite a few laps. I think we'll probably get a group go off the front, maybe 5 or 6 riders eventually. But the blue bikes have been up front all year, and the green one's chasing them. So, I'm obviously hoping the Suzuki's can get up there and make a race of this.
Well, we have seen Ben Spies win a race in this class, winning the 2nd race of the season, or the 3rd race of the season, in fact, at Sonoma. So it is possible the Suzuki's much talk about being a little down on power, that the Yamahas and the green bikes are the ones, but there is Ben Spies on the 11, your teammate.
Yeah, hopefully he can get up there. He's really trying to tuck in the draft now. He's a little bit taller than a lot of these guys in front of him, so he hangs out of the motorcycle a little bit, which on a fast racetrack like this, aerodynamics plays a big part. So hopefully he can get up there and tuck in, and Blake Young hanging in there, young Ben Haddad there, and right behind both of them. So this has turned into a good race already on the first lap.
Already the 3 Yamahas lined up 1, 2, 3, and our leader out in front right now is Jason DeSalvo. Boy, they've swapped spots a couple of times. It is Gobert now, and DeSalvo 2nd, but Jamie Hacking 3rd. Hacking looking pretty comfortable, Ski.
He is. He's done a double bike draft here, and he should be able to pull around Jason DeSalvo. We'll see how the tuners in the Yamaha camp have got the tune-up on these 2 R6s. But right now, the 96 of Aaron Gobert with a flying first lap, and he's nearly got a big enough gap to break the draft. But there you can see Jason DeSalvo catching the tail section off of the 96 bike, and it just sucks you into this turn 1 pretty fast.
Aaron Gobert holds on to the lead. No major position changes, but a little bit of a gap opened up in the front straightaway between the blue ones and the green ones. So, as Jamie Hacking makes a move into 2nd position, we'll keep an eye on what's going on here at Road America. You're riding with Roger Hayden, and you're in 4th position. Here are the leaders. Aaron Gobert has gone to the front again, but here comes Hacking around the inside on the brakes.
Side by side.
Oh!
Neither one of them wanting to give an inch right there. Jamie's going to run a little bit wide. We'll see if Aaron strikes back. No, Jamie protects. Solid racing down into turn 5 between the 2 Yamaha teammates. These guys are pushing the front ends. I think they're going to have a little bit more front tire wear than rear tire wear, maybe, in this one.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, they're pushing very hard, and by the looks of it right now, Tommy is just hanging on there. He's been that half a second back. It's like he's just struggling to be there, but you never know what's going to happen at the end. This racetrack does a bit of a job on tyres, and with these long turns like the carousel here, so he might be saving himself for the end of the race too.
Well, he's a very patient rider. We know that, and you probably do too. You had some experience racing against Tommy when he was on the Superbike, and he bides his time back there.
Yeah, he does.
To good effect.
Tommy had a bit of a tough time in Superbike. Was very young, but since getting off the Superbike and having a little bit of time to learn things, I mean, he's come on really strong. He's a solid rider. He's very patient. He doesn't make too many mistakes, so he's looking really good.
How about it, Greg White?
Well, oddly enough, I was talking to Tommy earlier, and he said this race is the first time that his ZX6RR has come up with a chatter, both in the front and the rear. It's a very subtle chatter. They worked on it all weekend, and they never quite got it taken care of. So Tommy told me that he's just going to have to ride through it, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, watch up here into turn 14. He's just losing the drive, but I think that chatter may be coming into effect here as he bends it over to the right about here. The Yamahas seem to be able to stretch out a gap, and then Tommy's got to use all that 4 miles to make up the difference here on the drive these guys are getting. He hit it pretty good, though, that time.
Yeah, that time looked a little bit better, but you're certainly right there, Ski. He's losing a lot of time in that last corner and just can't get tucked into that draft enough to make some sort of a pass, because the Kawasaki we've noticed this year has been reasonably fast. So I think if he can get closer, he might be able to do something.
Well, we may have to define for the viewers that aren't quite familiar with Supersport racing on DOT tires. Tell us in your words what a chatter is and what it does to the chassis.
Well, there's a couple of different ways a motorcycle can chatter. Sometimes the tyre can be slightly out of round, or you can have a suspension problem, or you can have a wheel that hasn't been balanced quite properly. So there's 3 different reasons why you can actually get why you can get chatter, and we're not too sure what Tommy's exactly experiencing, but no doubt it's one of those 3.
Cool. I appreciate you outlining that. And we did see a quick brief shot of the number 5, Steve Rapp. They did get him for jumping that start.
All right, so he tried to pull it back and was not successful in the eyes of the officials and, of course, stewards at the starting line. We're still watching our 3 leaders. Jamie Hacking has gone to the front one more time here. as the two Yamahas are swapping positions on occasion over the last several laps. We're just past the halfway mark here. But Tommy Hayden remains in third position, and the question still is that by design or just by circumstance? Here's the second battle for fourth, fifth, and sixth. Ben Spies has been able to hang on to that. We go a little further back, and Michael Barnes, who we profiled at the top of the show, is currently running in seventh place with Ben Attard and with Aaron Yates. So we've got little 3x3 battles going on all around the racetrack.
Well, you know, Michael Barnes always gives it 100% in the Prieto Racing R6. Very, very well prepared machine, but this is the difference between, you know, a very solid rider on privateer equipment versus a very solid rider on factory equipment. It basically amounts to 1.1 seconds here at Road America, and Barney doing a great job back there in seventh.
Now Ben Attard, a man that, and there's Aaron Yates, your teammate, Matt Mladen. Ben Attard, a young man that you've only come to know this season because he just got here and you've been a while. But here's Aaron Yates. Aaron's obviously struggling just a little bit on his smaller bike.
Yeah, you know, Aaron's had a few dramas this year with the 600. He's just not the same Aaron Yates that we know from before riding Supersport bikes. I mean, really, up until the end of last year, if anyone asked me who I thought was the best Supersport rider in the class, I always said Aaron, because the guy just made a motorcycle that wasn't quite the best, always come up with a win somehow. So he was an awesome rider. He carries a lot of corner speed. But this year he's just struggling a little bit. I also think he's trying to concentrate on the superbike a little bit more, which might be hurting him a little bit. But, you know, he'll get on with it, and I'm sure at the end of the year he'll come up and, get in the mix.
And we're talking about a Supersport champion, Aaron Yates, that clinched his title at Mid-Ohio, a track that we're going to here very shortly. So Aaron Yates continues, and in pursuit of two others, of the Suzuki of Ben Attard and the Yamaha of Michael Barnes. We'll be back to Road America. Tony Meyring's out of the race.
Aaron Gobert to the S-bend, works his way around Jamie Hacking under braking. Made it look rather easy, Matt.
Yeah, it was easy. He didn't back it in or anything. I didn't even realise there was a pass coming up there. But now we've got Tommy around the outside, going for both of them.
Ooh.
Looks like the Yamaha guys are going to stick it in there. But Tommy's made that little gap up to the front guys now, so we'll see what happens here in the last few laps.
Well, the draft really comes into play going into Canada Corner. You can see Tommy trying to work that draft. Seems to be down just a few clicks on straightaway speed, but working it through the draft and into Canada Corner.
Poking his wheel in every now and then, letting those guys know he's there if they didn't already. Tommy Hayden searching for an opportunity against the two Yamahas. Keep in mind that Hayden is the points leader. The two men that he is racing with, Jamie Hacking is fourth in points, Aaron Gobert is third in points, and there's a fairly significant points difference. So Tommy, while trying to win this race, Matt, and you're very familiar with this strategy too, doesn't really have to. He's got enough of a cushion where if he finishes third, there's really no drama for the championship.
No drama for the championship, but I'm sure he'd like to win this one because he's right there in the thick of it now. He knows with a couple of good drafts that he can get to the lead, and he's only going to extend his championship's lead, which makes the last few races obviously a lot easier.
There are the point standings right now, and you can see mathematically how it all stands. Roger Hayden and Aaron Gobert tied at 14 points behind Tommy. Jamie Hacking back another 10, and that's the way it sits right now. But Tommy Hayden has won 2 out of the 5 races so far. 3 out of 6 would be a nice number too, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be. I mean, any time now he's gone up to second place. Any time in Supersport when you can get half of the wins out of the season already, that's pretty good, because typically you see a lot of different winners throughout the season.
So the defending champion, Jamie Hacking, out in front with the current points leader, Tommy Hayden, in second position. We've got a race going on here. We're 7 laps into this one, coming up on 2 to go.
Remarkably consistent lap times out of all 3 riders, hovering at the high 20s and low 120 or 221 bracket. Aaron Gobert's got some good speed through the carousel turn. You see him drive out, and he's taking that line through here and getting an attack mode before the S-bend.
Yeah, he seems to be very good exiting the carousel there, and I think on the last lap, if Aaron's in position, that's going to be a place where he might sneak a move and make surprise a few people.
Whoa, Jamie Hacking using all the racetrack. Tommy the same. Aaron Gobert is right there. Each one has taken his turn watching the other two. And right now, they're both watching Jamie Hacking, the defending series champion, who said at the very beginning he'd like to put the weight of that number 1, and you also would know a lot about that, Matt, is getting a little heavy right now. He wants to put the thing on the top of the box. How do you feel?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I remember back in 2002 when I struggled to win anything. We had a few dramas that year and had the number 1 on the bike, and just felt like, this hasn't been a great year. And I can imagine, well, I understand what Jamie's feeling, but he's solid. He's going to be in there for the season, and hopefully he won't make any mistakes here at the end.
Whoa, solid drive off of turn 14 that time, Ski, and if he does that a couple more times, he will get that number 1 on top of the podium.
You can see Tommy Hayden got a little bit wide, but he's got the draft picked up perfectly here off the number 1 machine out in front. And Aaron Gobert, but as we head down in there with 2 laps to go, there you go, Tommy Hayden with an attempt to get around Jamie Hacking. I got to ask Matt Mladen, where is the best place to pass when everything is so equal?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the last lap, normally the best place to have a go at something is down into turn 5, because then you get into a little bit, at least, tighter part of the racetrack. Not that there's much of that here at Elkhart Lake, but you get into a tighter part of the racetrack after turn 5, and if you put your head down, cut a really good last half a lap, you can typically come out of the last corner with a bit of a lead and nobody can drive to the finish line.
In my experience here down in turn 5 is usually when you do go for it and you stuff it up the inside of somebody, it's almost like a block pass. And we'll see Tommy under braking. We'll see if he can peel this thing down and keep it on line.
Wow, he made the pass long before the braking zone. That was a pretty bold move and one that we haven't seen very often before. So Tommy Hayden has gone to school on these 2 guys and put a move on them maybe they didn't see coming. We're inside 2 laps to go, and Tommy Hayden is at the front for the first time. We'll have another look at that, Matt. That was something else.
Yeah, that was a great move. Just the draft off Jamie, and here he comes now, just tucked very tightly into the draft, down into turn 5, and this is the move that he would like to do on the last lap, because it'll make it very, very difficult for anybody else to pass him. But now that he's in the lead, he's going to have to play a little bit different strategy, and we'll look forward to the end.
We saw Jamie pop up rather early there under braking. I think he actually was surprised to see the number 22 machine come around him there.
Well, maybe Jamie's putting his money on a drafting move up the final straightaway and counting on a little extra horsepower under the hood of the blue number 1 Yamaha.
Well, we did see Aaron Gobert on the previous lap coming up the straightaway, tucked in very close behind Tommy, and he couldn't make the move, not even close before the finish line. So we'll have to see if Jamie's bike running any better than Aaron's.
Maybe they stretched the throttle cable just a little tighter on that number 22 bike, because he was certainly laying back. Right now he's out in front. We'll see if he can stay there. A lap and change to go. We're coming up on 1 very, very shortly.
I think Tommy's got in his mind that if he can get up the front straightaway and lead into turn 1, that he might be able to leave these guys to the infield. They may have been holding him up down in turn 2. He's so fast through that section of the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, this will be a telltale right now, and I believe Tommy's thinking the only way he can win it is from the front. But right here, Jamie's very close, and that's going to be, if that's the finish, that's going to be a close finish.
Well, if that was a try, it's going to be advantage Tommy Hayden. But here comes Jamie Hacking on the brakes into turn number 1.
In very deep there.
Oh boy, yeah, we'll see if he can hold that line. He did too. Nice trail braking all the way through.
Absolutely, and I'm surprised Tommy's going for a move here, but I think down into turn 5 is going to be the pick here, but he's a little bit back now, so we'll see what happens.
All right, Tommy Hayden in second position. Aaron Gobert's been watching those 2. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve. And being an Australian, I wouldn't trust him for a minute.
Easy there. Down into 5. Sometimes when you go around, though, when you do draft the guy, you can suck him in and just completely disorient your braking references.
Tommy's going to go wide.
But he saved it. Jamie backed off.
Yep.
Saw the lap or 2, maybe. Who knows?
Yep, we've got some lappers coming into play now. It's going to be an exciting end of this race.
Oh, yeah. Well, it always is, it seems. Tim Mitchell from Minnesota is the man mixed in with them now, but they get by. Close. Well, 2 of them do. Aaron gets past as well. Here comes another one moving over to the side. And Tommy Hayden with the lead inside the final lap of the race.
Tommy Hayden's definitely not thinking points, I can assure you that. He's thinking of a race win here.
They're going around Flores on the Honda in the 468. And it just took a little bit off of Aaron Gobert's corner speed through there. Still plenty of opportunities to pass and win this race for any one of these riders.
Absolutely.
Whoa, Tommy's pushing the front end big time. Tucked it there pretty hard.
If Jamie can get a good drive, his next move is going to be in Canada. So he's got 2 more spots where he can make the pass if he can't do it up the front straight, which is Canada corner and, of course, the last turn.
And Aaron Gobert spinning the rear tire pretty hard out of the S-bend. Jamie trying to line up the draft.
Tommy Hayden's strategy obviously is to run from the front. Matt said that's where he may feel as though his best chance lies. Whoa. Jamie Hacking sizing him up.
Look at the body English on the number 22 rider, Tommy Hayden, just coming there ripping those downshifts, sticking his elbows out wide, saying, Jamie, if you want this one, you better come at it hard.
Yeah, well, looks like Jamie's going to have to do it up the front straight if he's going to do it. So,
or maybe even Aaron Gobert.
We're setting up the draft move. Here we go. A double draft, a single draft, or a win from the front. We've seen it all here at Road America. Tommy Hayden juking back and forth. Now he just lights for the line. It's going to be close. Hacking pulls out, but Tommy Hayden wins by the length of his motorcycle.
Absolutely great finish. We've seen it the previous lap. A great finish.
Yep. And the battle for third, for fourth rather, Jason DeSalvo will take it over Roger Hayden and Ben Spies. And then Ben Attard coming through. We'll have to see how that all shakes out, but Tommy Hayden has earned his third victory in Supersport, extended his points lead, and been congratulated by the man that holds the plate that he would like to place on his green motorcycle in 2005.
Typical Road America fashion, 3/100ths of a second. What do you got for us, Greg?
Well, I'm down here with Joey Lombardo, crew chief for Tommy Hayden. Wow, man, that was a close race. Congratulations.
Well, I don't know what to say on this one. That's a double T today for sure. It feels real good to get a double, get the ZX-10 earlier today, and now the ZX-6 Kawasaki Ninja. Performance is perfect today. Tommy's riding was perfect. My crew, they all worked hard. Hi, Mom. Got it done that time. And just Tommy rode perfect race again. Just, I don't know what else to say other than everything worked out perfect today.
Let's get the winner's circle. All right, Brian.
All right, as you guys head to Winner's Circle, we're going to thank Matt Mladen for joining us here in the booth for your great insight. Wish you the best of luck. We know you got a race coming up, and we hope to see you out there. We'll be cheering for the number one.
Thanks very much, boys.
Congratulations, 2 for 2 today, Tommy Gunn.
Sure, it feels good. I mean, what a day. You know, to double win today, I mean, for sure it's my best day of the year, and you know, they were both hard fought from start to finish, and luckily, you know, at the end we had enough to get there. I mean, I can't say enough about my Kawasaki's today. They, you know, you need some motor here, and both my bikes today ran unreal. I had some really good motor, and you know, it just feels really good. I'm glad to get another win. I didn't know there early if I was going to be able to. I was barely holding on, and it was like towards the end, I felt a little bit better, and was able to close it out there at the end.
Tell me about the pass for the lead, the final pass for the lead.
Yeah, I had a pretty good run on him. He was a little bit wide, and like I said, my bike was really fast and drafted up beside him, and from there I knew that it was going to be a braking battle pretty much to the end, and just tried to brake as late as I could every turn and tuck in as tight as I could and put everything together, and you know, it worked out again barely, and you know, I just like to thank my team, all my guys. I mean, them guys work so hard, and you know, we struggled a little bit all week, and you know, they kept their heads down, kept after it, and you know, I appreciate that. And Dunlop tires are really good, so you know, we had a good day.
All right, congratulations, Tommy Hayden. Brian?
All right, Joey Lombardo is crew chief, Ross Nearpass, James Hashimoto, the guy that builds the engines, at least as far as we know, and Mike Watts, the suspension guys. You know, they're the ones that have helped Tommy Hayden get to victory lane, and boy, they should share in the spoils. Let's take a look at the results here. Tommy, Jamie, Aaron, we saw a lot of them. Jason DeSalvo prevailed over Roger Hayden and Ben Spies. Ben Attard on the Corona bike, 7th, a good finish for him, one of his best, in fact. And Michael Barnes, how about him in 8th position there? Always rides hard on that Prieto number 34. Aaron Yates and Jason Farrell rounding out the top 10. Blake Young, the 16-year-old, on the number 59 Pirelli tired bike. Chris Paris on the Valvoline Suzuki Michelin bike. And Danny Eslick, another youngster. Nick Moore, another youngster. So we got a lot of young talent in this field, and they're doing very well indeed. Lots of guys, Ski.
We saw 15th place Steve Rapp after a stop-and-go penalty. He really turned the throttle up on that Valvoline MGO Suzuki. But as we work our way through the field, a lot of these guys being, you know, at their first time at an AMA National at Road America, doing a great job.
Here are the points. Tommy Hayden starting to, you know, maintaining a stretch-out lead there over his brother. He's put his brother back a few points. And wow, Raj is going to have to hang on because look how tight it is for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Jason DeSalvo, a somewhat distant 5th, but things can change pretty quickly during the course of a year in Supersport, Ski.
Well, I think what I saw here today, and it's happened to me before, is you run at Road America, the bike gets hot, and sometimes it's a little slow at the beginning, it gets faster at the end. I think Hacking's bike slowed down and Tommy's bike sped up horsepower-wise, and he was able to put it to work and take it to the line first.
Well, Tommy Hayden ended up winning the race. That young man finished 11th, Blake Young. We have a lot more exciting action coming up.